don't hold my tongue anymore. When something bothers me, it's time to speak up. There's lessons and blessings in all of that sauce. I don't want to offend anybody, but right now I have to choose me. If you want to get something done, do it yourself. That's my mom.
I'm Jamila Mustafa with BET Talks. Joining me today is the Grammy Award-winning multi-platinum actress. She's an entertainer, she's a singer, and she's a Broadway star. She is the original it girl, and she is the epitome of self-empowerment and self-esteem. With over 20 million records sold, 7 million albums sold, and she's still shutting down international stages. Please welcome the one, the only, the forever, the woman of all of our dreams and everything in between, Miss Maya.
Wow, that was a beautiful introduction.
Thank you, Maya.
I love your energy.
Thank you.
I need to borrow some of that energy. I'm so laid back. Yes, I love it.
And it's all about you. I said I wasn't gonna do it. I had to, and I'm grateful for your time, so thank you so much. I would like to start off with a little game, if you will.
Okay.
I know, nothing too crazy.
All right.
Go-go vibes or classic R&B?
Oh, that's gonna be tough. Music that I make, classic R&B. When I'm partying to, go-go music. And cranking in my car, wherever I am in the world, it's go-go.
Go-go, do you have a favorite go-go classic?
So we have new classics, Sexy Lady is one. And I think probably Water is my favorite classic.
You just gotta give in to the go-go. Gotta give in. Ghetto Superstar or Case of My Ex?
Oh, well, Case of the Ex was my first, I would say, pop song of my own. That wasn't a collaboration, it wasn't on a soundtrack, so I'll go with that.
Musicals with choreography or just straight film?
I love choreography in musicals. I go for everything. Every aspect of theater. It's not just the dance, but the acting and the singing, musicality, the orchestration, the composition, the storytelling, the arc. I love theater for so many reasons, and if one element is not there, I feel like it's lacking.
You can't get with it now. Cultural shifting collabs or timeless records?
I love both, and I actually love when both of those worlds collide, because you can pull back with samples or even recreating, but also the fusion of two different genres, and I've done that as well in hip-hop and R&B, but also pulling from way back. Even Fallen, a record of mine, is a Brazilian record that the Far Side sampled, and then, hey, I turned it into an R&B song, but then I reached back to Trey and Fatbit of Far Side, and they got on a remix with me. So it was all of these elements fused together, and then the live version, it includes Stevie Wonder, it includes Selena, it includes a whole lot of different elements of different genres.
You always kind of fuse it and bend them around, and I tell you this, I gotta take it back. I can see you now, you're a part of the Posse, Teen Summit, BET Networks, getting your dance on.
Yeah, I'm home right now.
You're home. Welcome back home.
Thank you. I started on Teen Summit in 1997 on BET as a part of the Posse and the Dance Posse. I learned a lot from BET.
Yes.
Behind the camera, on camera, it was so great. Such an education. I had not yet popped out onto the scene as a recording artist. I was literally laying the groundwork and the foundation of my first album, not knowing what the future would hold, if it was gonna work out, It was so exciting.
Who was Maya at that time?
I was a very driven teenager and very focused, very responsible. I'm the oldest in my family of siblings and the only girl. And so there was a lot of, I would say, expectation placed on me. And of course, I was a test dummy on everything. I was driven, I had a vision. I was also very creative. I was always a leader in whatever it was, very competitive. I think my dad raised me like a boy on purpose. I was getting grass stains on my knees, playing football, boxing, go-karts, dirt bikes, really gritty.
And you never knew.
But I'm still like that to this day. I have all of that in me, and it keeps me grounded, and I maintain that discipline in my daily practices as much as possible if time allows. But I love that side of me that I lean on, because it's very necessary to have that component to fall back on.
What was it like being a part of the 106 & Park tribute?
To be considered for 25 years, such a celebration of 106 & Park that, first of all, I did perform on in 2003 and hosted also with Bow Wow. Such a legacy.
I want to thank my boy Bow Wow here for co-hosting with me today. We're going to the BET Awards, right?
Yeah, together.
Okay.
the nostalgia to share that moment with my peers that were also out around that time. Then BET's legacy in general. 45 years was celebrated as well. That's pretty much my age. So, you know, simultaneous existences. Grateful to be a part, also be a witness, celebrate the culture and how much it means to all of us onlookers that were raised by BET.
25 years plus, when you talk about your career, I mean, that's not to be taken lightly. And I'm talking about active years. We've been able to receive your gifts. Is this your most self-defined era?
I would say so. I'm very clear on who I am, and there's intentionality in my music. There's always a purpose for every single song. I'm very, very detail-oriented and meticulous when it comes to lyric choices and how it affects me. You know, is this something that resonates with me? Does it hit every time I listen to it? What does it do for me? Is it my therapy? Because if it's not gonna be someone else's therapy. How can I impact, you know, in a positive way? Is there a solution to this? I'm asking all of those questions when I'm creating. And so it's very self-defined for me because that's what time does. If you have the faith to continue, life takes place. The good, bad, and the ugly. There's lessons and blessings in all of that sauce.
Yes.
And you bring it to your craft. You bring it to your expression and whatever that is. It's not just about self. It's truly about connecting with others and making them feel, which is how I fell in love with music in the first place, because I felt something and it struck me right here in the gut.
I love the brand new record, ASAP. It just really moves me. Talk about the clarity, the accountability, and just where you are with the record. What's the message?
There's a line in ASAP that says, "Ain't got long if I'm crying like that." That clarifies that something is wrong and then something happened. I like to pick lyrics apart like it's a script, line by line, and I figure it out. I'd say the essence of the song is about a situation that's no longer what it was. We don't know what is going on, obviously, but there are questions that arise internally before you address them. And I think sometimes we don't communicate because we fear the outcome. We fear that, oh, there might be feelings for someone else or an affair, or what is it? Is there something wrong with me? And sometimes it's just our internal dialogue in our mind getting the best of us because, oh, it might not feel like the first phase.
Yes.
It might feel too comfortable. Or something went down. But urgency is key here because it's bothering you and it's festering and you can no longer ignore how you feel. And to walk around every day feeling low or feeling unclear, you need some closure or clarity at least. Adults having mature conversations that are uncomfortable conversations is what ASAP is all about, because it means that much to have a conversation. So we can either make the moves to preserve this thing or do what's best for both of us in part ways. I think coming into self and also going on a self-love journey and healing and all of that stuff, I don't really trip off of anything. Nothing is mine to keep if it's not meant. I just trust the divine now. I like peace. It's a very priceless thing to me, but time is also expensive. So I don't hold my tongue anymore. When something bothers me and it also is very repetitive in pattern, it's time to speak up. And I will do it eloquently in a very respectful manner, but I know how I feel and I just can't ignore it anymore because it will make you sick.
ASAP as a single, I mean, I just had it on repeat, but the remix, absolutely loved it. Why choose 21 Savage? Why was he the perfect fit for the remix?
I flew to Atlanta to record with him. He wrote on the spot, just like went in the booth and sat with the record for a while and wanted me to be there to make sure I liked it. And so he's just a straight genius in the booth. And his process I got to be a witness of. And he's spitting these bars, you know. It's a perfect fusion of his perspective for the male, but also my perspective as a woman, but two different generations too. And it's a grown folk record. It really is. So you get to see these two characters play out. We're talking about, hey, we want to make this work, but we're also addressing the issues that we see. And so he brings clarity in what I'm talking about and like really paints the picture in a relationship.
Because you know, those lines hit. I did not expect that. I did not expect him on the remix, but honestly, it's so perfect.
It's so pleasant to work with. Also wanted to solidify someone that just brings a different viewpoint. And I thought maybe a cool, different, unexpected way would be to reach out to someone that I know could convey it in a less predictable way. So 21 is that guy.
Did your peace of mind ever cost you an opportunity? And if so, was it worth it?
I don't think I've lost anything. I think what's for me is for me. Even if I say no in the beginning, it will be returned later. And I recently said no to several things because I said, you know what? I'm traveling nonstop. My body's becoming inflamed. I have no body clock. I can see it on me. I don't like how I look. I don't like how I feel. Let me go correct this. But I have to say no to A, B, and C. I don't want to offend anybody, but right now I have to choose me so I can be ready and possess this new energy and confidence about myself. So either you say no now to better receive the greater gifts later, it's up to you. Either way, it's gonna work out. So you have to have patience. And you also can't always think from a fight or flight place, which is very hard in this expensive ass society.
I was gonna say society, but also industry, because whether you're a singer, a dancer, entertainer, and even behind the scenes, if you miss that opportunity, there's always someone else waiting to work. And it just feels like you have freed yourself from that and put yourself first.
But there will always be something else for you.
Yes.
So I don't really operate in fear. I understand that in the past, being a part of a system, that is the thought, because you have to seize the opportunity, and that's always the thought process in society in general. But I feel like stillness has a lot of value. Investing in self, really just being, has a lot of value and clarity, because if you don't have that within yourself, what is your compass? Do you know exactly where you're going, what you're gonna say yes to, what you're gonna say no to? And I have been all over the place before in decisions and just hustle, do this, do that. I loved it, but I'm also not there anymore. We evolve, we change, we grow. Sometimes we want different things, and that's also okay. But I don't feel like you miss anything.
People always talk about the power, yes, but sometimes saying no has a lot of power. You've never called yourself the it girl. Women's History Month is all about the excellence. You are women's history, and you're still making it. And as they say, mamas always get the best advice. If you could dig into your Mama Maya chest, what would be some of the best advice that your mother has given you?
My mother's my accountant, so I'm gonna hit you with this. Live below your means.
No, come on, that's serious.
Very serious and very valuable. You know, until it's okay to live above your means or within your means. It comes from a beautiful place of love and protection. You know, she's my accountant, so she watches everything go in and go out. And she's a free spirit and an independent thinker, and I thank her for that. She's self-taught with everything and taught me everything I know. From the business. She reads contracts, knows law, because she taught herself, but she's very creative. And she's very hands-on. If you want to get something done, do it yourself. That's my mom.
Wow, beauty, 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 inside and out. Talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 studio album, Maya. Retrospect with lead singles like ASAP and so many more. Fans are eager, me in particular, for what's to come. Tell me about the process making this album.
I started this album in 2017, in between Smooth Jones and TKO albums. Completely different vibe, but rooted in soul, rooted in R&B, but also rooted in the music that I grew up listening to and experiencing love as a witness and experiencing joy between my parents, but also me. I have pictures of me dancing in my mother's thigh-high boots, right? At like 4 years old. And so my living room was just filled with beautiful, soulful music, a lot of funk. My dad is a singer, and so we would have musicians over in our living room for all of his rehearsals. And he would actually put out vinyl and take his songs that he would make in that living room to the radio station. And so I get all of that essence, the skating rinks, the backyard parties, the basement parties, the aunties and uncles coming over to encourage me to dance and do all of this stuff. All of that joy is on this album, but you're gonna also get introspection. And so it's called Retrospect, because I'm looking back in time to a place that made me fall in love with music. And I'm bringing that to the forefront, from the up-tempos to the mid-tempos to the ballads. It feels like real music with a contemporary twist. And we're also paying homage to my influences: Prince, Vanity 6, Rick James, Tina Marie, Peaches and Herb, Shalimar, like, let's go. Evelyn Champagne, Patrice Rushen, Gap Band, the list goes on. Cameo, Cool in the Gang, let's go. Let's take it back to a beautiful time.
You did, yes. As a fan of the arts, what is your favorite R&B song?
Of mine?
No, outside of you. What is that one song that you can listen to on repeat decades and decades later? Just one, give me one.
It's actually my favorite song of all time, and it's by a man that I love, respect, and admire. Stevie Wonder's Ribbon in the Sky.
When you talk about intentionality and how you present yourself, you know, how would you describe not only your brand as Maya, but who is Maya as the woman in terms of her personal beliefs?
I've been a very, very observant child. I later on in life, just within the past, I'd say 7 years, learned that I'm an empath. I feel a lot of what the world is going through. And thankfully I have art to escape or express how I feel or how others might be feeling. It gets heavy. And so I think I'm very in tune with what I would love to see for the world. Whether it's realistic or not, I'm still hopeful. But I've always wanted to see peace. And I used to watch a lot of things that Michael Jackson would highlight in his philanthropy, from hunger and starvation, homelessness. And it impacted me as a little girl. Like, how could this be? How could this exist? So at the core, that's who I am. I love, of course, the arts because it's a way to role play and, you know, feel good about yourself and confidence. And then also inspire others, but also surprise yourself so many times on the power of lyricism or the power of music. Even teamwork in sports. It teaches me a lot about how we are as human and the human experience. And so I was always interested in child psychology and how people think, how people feel, and what this person needs in this moment. I'm usually very, very talkative with my supporters at meet and greets because I really like to connect with people on different levels. Outside of just being entertainer on stage and very separate and far removed, I like really have conversations
I could tell.
with strangers. I like people. I like to connect on different levels, on deeper levels than just entertainment. But it's honestly to be able to move forward and make this life greater than what it is. You know, because we're all, as a birthright, supposed to be living this wonderful life. Take it back to the real root, the real authenticity of what being a human is on this earth.
I learned so much about you,
period.
Maya.
Because that's where I have to go.
Yes.
To remind myself that this life is supposed to be good. It's not supposed to be so stressful all the time. Make sure that while you're working, you remind yourself of how great you have it, but also bring others along. Make sure you make it great for someone else. It's not just about you. Create and carve out that space so that you can enjoy the fruits, not of your labor, but of just life itself that we all deserve. And if we can create a space that people can just remind themselves to live and maybe not be a slave to things, but all of the things that are so important, the simple things.
The simple things. Thank you for your soul. Thank you for your advice. And like your mom told me, live below your means. I'm learning something, right? And guess what you told me?
What?
Time is expensive. I learned a lot today. I got to get back to listening to ASAP. You know, I love that record. I can't wait for Retrospect to come out. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your years of just being the leading woman in music and entertainment. But your time is priceless. Thank you so much, Maya, for everything. Yes, the Maya!
Thank you.
Oh, man. Thank you, thank you.